There are a few blockchain ecosystems that seemingly came out of nowhere. Now, not literally nowhere, but the crypto space moves so fast with so much going on, it is easy to miss the early days of projects that might be the front runners of the future. One such project that was literally not on most people's radar was Solana. And like a thief in the night, in the middle of the night, it snuck in, grabbed a large market share of new projects building on it, as well as some end user adoption. And by the end of 2020, there were already 100 projects building on Solana. And as of a month ago, there were 250 projects now building on Solana. With the backing of Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda Research and also the FTX exchange, Solana has broken through critical mass to make itself a major player in the blockchain space. So why do so many choose Solana? Well, one of the big reasons is the transactions per second are currently some of the fastest in the race. Unfortunately, I myself was not one of those who was aware of Solana at its ICO. In fact, I wasn't really deeply aware of it till later last year, and since that time, I've continued to watch it closely, and am seeing exactly what I like to see as an investor. However, having missed out on Solana's token and the 200x it's had since the ICO, I've been looking at new projects on the Solana ecosystem that look interesting and that might help get me some nice gains in the ecosystem as it continues its parabolic growth. This brings me to some of these new projects that I've been watching, and I want to share with those with you today. So let me share my screen here. Well, I'm going to go over first to Solana's price so you can see. I mean, really, this was last year, this last year. You could have bought it for, at one point came down to under 60 cents at 53 cents here. So at 53 cents, it literally did a 100x since that price, and that's not even the ICO price. It's had phenomenal gains. It's currently on a retracement, as is everything. And it will probably have some nice gains here, but its market cap is currently, even after the pullback, at close to $10 billion. So to see 100x from here, it would have to go to a $1 trillion market cap. That might be a bridge too far to cross, though maybe it will make it to the 100 to 300 billion dollar market cap. So though I'm very interested in Solana, I have some, it's limited. I'm really looking for the gems on the Solana ecosystem that have a better shot of giving me 100x gain. So as I've been doing my research, I wanted to share with you some of those. First of all, I do like launch pads because they're one of the best things for investors to be able to get on many of the new projects coming in. Intersola is a Solana Launch Pad, and this will be coming soon. You can go to their website here, intersola.io, and start to get some information. The best way to really get information on these projects like Intersola and figure out exactly when the launch is and how to participate in the ICO is going to their Telegram and then their Twitter, which I know my head's in the way, but you can follow here, and I strongly suggest following it because if you get in at anywhere near ICO or IDO prices on the Launchpad tokens, it makes it a lot easier to have enough tokens to be able to get decent size allocations when new projects come out on top of it. So that's one of the first things I look for is what Launchpad can I participate in order to get some of the good projects that are coming out. Many of you followed CardStarter on Cardano, and you know that many of the projects that came through CardStarter went 100 to 500x, as well as CardStarter's price alone from its ICO went like 800x, I think, at the top. So Intersola, high on my radar of interest. Another one is Hydra Swap. Now there's any number of swaps coming out there these days. Number one, I like this, that the technology itself is built on Solana, but it's made up to be able to go cross-chain. And you can see its alpha version here and play around with what it'll be able to do, but be able to switch from like Solana to any of these. You can switch to BTC and swap to Ethereum. So cross-chain compatibility with Hydra Swap, and isn't that what we're all really looking for? We don't want to have 50 million different wallets. What if we could just have like 3? We could have a MetaMask wallet on Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, and maybe a different wallet here. We could get a Ledger or a Math wallet. That's pretty Common, Solid, or some kind of Solana wallet, and that we could just buy, exchange it, would know exactly which wallets to put it in by what we connect up. And so the complexity becomes very simple. And one of the great things about swaps is the simplicity of it. One of the downsides is you know, lack of cross-chain compatibility, or that's been one of the downsides of the past, and this is what Hydra Swap is solving. There's a few different projects competing for this. I do like that this is built on Solana itself, which has some of the fastest transactions per second currently, so it just means faster transactions, lower cost per transaction, as well as the cross-chain compatibility really we're all looking for. Now this is the swap here. They also have trading so that you can trade, and you can trade, if you notice on these pairings, they all go to USDC, USDT, which is really nice. So basically, it's kind of like a swap, but with the additional function that we're looking for, because what I want to be able to do is I want to put in limit orders. And so that's one of the downsides of, say, Uniswap, is you can't put in a limit order. Over here, you just swap into USDC, USDT, or whatever, and then you come to trading, and then you have the regular orders that you're used to. Does that make sense? All right, to our other one on the Solana blockchain. Now, this is Sola Farm, and they rebranded to Solyard.finance. Now, what I'm interested in, because I like getting involved in some of the farming, and at first I only put a little bit of it in, like, so this one hasn't launched yet. I'm waiting for this one to launch. If you know of a great farming app that's already out there, then let me know in the comments section. But what I'm looking for is a really good one on top of Solana, so that I can really play with it, get a feel for it, put a little bit of allocation in, because honestly, a lot of these rug pull. Now, some of the people I know on the back end have talked to their executives, and they brought it to me. They're kind of like my screeners, and they're very sharp people that have brought me, you know, and introduced me to some of the teams from some of the best projects. I have not been introduced to the Solyard finance team, but when they say that they're solid, that's usually a really good sign to me. I still sometimes do additional screening, sometimes I don't. So this is one I'm looking at strongly for playing around with farming on Solana. Much as I've covered, like on WanChain, I use WanSwap, and at first I was a little hesitant with WanSwap till I found that a lot of the WanChain team, or some of the WanChain team, was involved with WanSwap, and also they had verified it as well. I do some yield farming on the Ethereum chain, but it's so expensive. I do very limited amounts. And then what's the other one? Oh, Polygon. Now, Polygon, I'm a little bit skittish on. I have about 16,000 over on Polygon, which for me isn't a lot. But yeah, Polygon uses a trusted system, which I've mentioned before. Probably everything's fine. I don't like it as much as once it goes trustless, and I understand they're trying to get that in. And what the difference is right now on a trusted system, you're depending on a few key players not colluding together to steal billions of dollars worth of value. And so I always feel a little bit uncomfortable with that, but probably everything's fine on that. But I have 16,000 over on QuickSwap on the Matic system that are farming and earning me passive income every day, and I love doing that, and I'm looking for that on Solana. And my best guess is this is what I'm looking for, but if you know of one that's already working and working well, I'd love to hear about it. Of course, I'll do some additional vetting, because this is one of the main places where, like, you know, people rug pull, the projects rug pull, right? So QuickSwap, I feel pretty good that they're not going to rug pull. WanSwap, feel very good they're not going to rug pull. So I'm looking for a great one on top of Solana, hoping that Solyard is that. And that's what I have for Solana today. Hopefully you're already aware of Solana. It uses different wallets than MetaMask, so there's a number of them to choose from, and I imagine even more will be coming out. The Sam Bankman-Fried backing is a really big deal. You probably heard of him, but if you haven't, he's only like 28 years old. He's already worth $10 billion. He was a creator of the FTX exchange, and, you know, they call him like a boy genius because he is still so young, but he's been right on so many things. So he's endorsed Solana so heavily and integrating with it, which gives me a little bit of peace of mind. That tells me, okay, that's a good green flag. As I've been researching it more over the past number of months, I like it more and more and more. Now, if you follow my channel, you know that Cardano is like my favorite. And Polkadot, I really, really like. And I've come around on Solana, and yeah, bought my first Solana, I think a month ago, and got one of the Solana wallets and was playing around with it so that I could understand it better. And I feel like it's going to be one of those top players that's going to be around for possibly forever. And so I've been doing more research, trying to find and identify the good projects on top of it, because I feel like this ecosystem has hit critical mass that is going to be with us, and the right people are getting involved in it that I like to see. And so even though I wasn't really even aware of it a year ago, or at least slightly aware of it, but you know, it just seemed too far out there, and they're competing in such a heavy space, I didn't know if they would make it. But it seems like they've made it, and they're here to stay, and they've got the right people involved. So I'm seeing all the things out of it I'd like to see. All right, I want to thank all of you for joining me. Hopefully, yeah, you've joined our Telegram already, but if you haven't, we do talk frequently in there. Have some very smart people in the Telegram. You can see the link below. But join us there and interact with us. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. It's at CryptoRain with 2 N's. Somebody had already taken CryptoRain with 1 N by the time I created that Twitter account in like 2018. So, yeah, you can follow me there. Also, I'd like to hear what you think on Solana. I've been watching it for a while. I really like it. Some of my friends that are really smart in the space love Solana. And so, yeah, the more I've been looking into it, the stronger I feel about it. And it's time that I am identifying for me some of the ones that I want to invest in. Now, do note, none of this financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing. As to whether you do it or not, really that's up to you. I do share that if you will commit yourself to this space, not just for this bull run, but for the following bear market, because just as sure as we're going to have a bull run later this market, and I feel really strongly about that, we will then have a big pullback, and we call that the bear market. If you will stick around for that too, hopefully take some profits during this bull run that I think we still have ahead of us, so that you can buy really well during the bear market. That'll set you up for the following bull market. And hopefully by that following bull market, you make life-changing wealth. I did do a video the other day called, I forget the name of it, but it was specifically on life-changing wealth and how much you need to make. There's a calculation sheet that I included that's linked in our Telegram group that you can put in some numbers so that you can calculate how much gains you need to make this cycle and then the following cycle in order to create enough passive income so that you don't have to work ever again. I don't recommend not working because we go a little bit crazy if we're not working. But if you have enough passive income coming in for the rest of your life, that allows you to choose whatever you want to work in. So if you want to play music, you don't have to worry about the money anymore. If you want to be an artist, you can. You don't have to worry about the money anymore. If you want to go sailing the world, you absolutely can. You just need a debit card for when you go into port. That's the kind of life-changing wealth that I think all of us are looking for. So join me on this journey. Look forward to it. And we've got a song for all you rainmakers who have already joined me on this journey. Thank you so much.
Success is falling, flowing like rain. The timing's right, we're getting paid. Come on, rainmakers, let's make this happen.